Hey y'all, this is how we're gonna have y'all make GIFs. It's just a super easy way in Photoshop. So if you do File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack, it pulls up this panel. You just go find the photos that you've set, which, sorry, it's all loaded on the other screen. So on my desktop, I have all these set to all the same size, so you can see that they're all squared up. They're all 1600 pixels on the long side. So it's super easy if they're all size the same ratio and size. So I just hit open, it puts them all in here. You don't want it to do these for this process, so hit OK. It's gonna throw all of these into Photoshop, line them up as layers here on this panel. So if you do Window, click Timeline, brings up this timeline down here. And you want to make sure that this is a frame animation for this. So create frame animation. Basically, each one of these little boxes will be a frame. So if you come here and you do make frames from layers, now every one of these layers that you imported is now a frame. And you can kind of play with the order that you want. So you can move things around, like if you want the cheerleading one first, that'll be that. Most of the time, if you are going to do a GIF, I would choose your favorite photo first. So kind of move things around as you want. Like I'll probably want Tiger Stadium to be that lead off. So I'll move this up a little bit. This I'm gonna move to last. Lizzie up a little. Move middle, and then baseball here. Move basketball a little forward. That there. So once you've kind of got them all laid out in the order that you want here, you see down here it says 0 seconds. If you select everything, so I'm just holding Shift, I click the first one, I hold Shift and click the last one. You can click this little arrow and choose how long you want. I'm going to run them for probably, I'm going to do other, and I'm going to do, it'll normally bring this up, I'm going to do 1.5 seconds. So that way, since I have 10 frames, each one will run for 1.5 seconds. So it'll kind of switch through as I want when you play it, which you can do by hitting spacebar. So now that this is ready to go, I've got everything set that I want. I'm going to come up here and do export, render video. Pulls up this panel. So you can change these settings, but I've set the document size to 1600 by 1600, which is normally pretty good. You can do 1200 by 1200 too on your phone, but I find that to be big enough without being oversized. So I'm just going to call this Top Photos 1819. It's set to go to the desktop right here. You can kind of choose that where you want. I want it to go to the desktop for now. And hit render. It'll start the process. Let this run. And then show you the final GIF when it's done. So, but when you make these photos down here, it's easiest if you just open Camera Raw. You choose whatever ratio you want, whether it be 1:1 as a square or 2:3, and then make sure all the photos are cropped in that ratio, and then save them at the same size. So if I open my desktop and preview the file, it's a nice MP4 video that you can put on Twitter or social or whatever you want. It kind of runs through all of photos and then recycles. So cool. That's it.